What is up, YouTube? Welcome all bronies and Yu-Gi-Oh players alike. This is Draco Wing again, and here this time I'm gonna redo my Odd Eyes Pendulum deck profile or Odd Eyes Magician deck profile, and I may actually have a better chance to explain it all since I'm recording on a new device instead of my 2DS. I'm recording on my phone now, a new phone. Yay! New phone hype. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get there's not much has changed. The base idea is the same, just a couple of things. But let's get into it. So first off, we're playing 3 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. He's the main guy you want to get out. It goes into all your extra deck plays, and he's also your end phase searcher for Wisdom Eye if you need to get him into hand. Next, we are playing 3 Wisdom Eye just to you get the correct cards in your pendulum scale for pendulum summon or pendulum effects. And to do that, and which will also be, and when he does that, he's also a pendulum summon fodder. I probably should have explained that too. But when he uses pendulum summon fodder, he destroys himself to set the pendulum scale to the right scale. You can pendulum summon him back. Xyz plays, secret plays, whatever. Next, we are playing. Yeah, I know I'm kind of doing this sloppy. Sorry about that, guys. 3 Oath Dragon Magician. He's your I've heard he's your main skill I want to go to. Plus he's plus he gets cards out of graveyard into your hand, and sometimes even into your extra deck in your hand. Which the extra deck, getting card from your extra deck in your hand, pendulum monsters. I mean, I don't say where that matters because they can pendulum summon from extra deck, but from graveyard, if you had to pitch something for a cost, he's good to use so you can get him back. Next, we're only playing 1 Noble Dragon Magician, the only turn of deck for Meteor Burst. I admit I would, spoiler alert, I do play 3 Meteor Burst, but since the rule is that if you use this for a secret summon from the field, or how the ruling goes, I think, is that it'll go to your extra deck. Any monster sent from the field for a synchro material goes to the extra deck if it's a pendulum monster, not if it's a regular effect monster, in which case it goes to the graveyard, but you know this by now. But it's only get it 1 because if you pendulum summon, you can just keep bringing it back, keep doing it over and over and over and over. And then because of the summoning requirements for Meteor Burst, it doesn't have to be with Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, it just needs to be get out of the field, but its effect just needs to get out of the field. And its other effect only applies to the pendulum zone, but you'll be using its monster effect most often, which is why you only play 1. Okay, next, for the main scale, we are playing 3 Dragon Pit Magician. Oh yeah, sorry about the glare, guys. My kitchen, light, hold on, let me see if I can fix that. Oh yeah, okay. Yep, that fixed it. Anyways, 3 Dragon Pit Magician, your rank 8 scale, and Spell Destruction, because I hate back row. And plus, he's how you get your higher level monsters through pendulum summoning. Next up, we are playing 2 Dragon Pulse Magician, the scale that goes with Dragon Pit to get out most of your monsters, and he's Monster Destruction. He's good to have on hand, but I guess I don't exactly know why I play 2. I guess I can make room for Dragon Oath. In my opinion, if the ratio that most people play is 3 Oath Dragon and 2 of him, now to me, if it had to be 3 of him, it'd be 2 Oath Dragon. Next, we are playing 3 Skullcrabat Joker. Perform Pal Skullcrabat Joker. You're a searcher for your magician, and all those cards. He does search for Perform Pal, but he's the only Perform Pal in the deck, so he'll be searching out your scales or any monsters you want to pendulum summon to get set up. Next is a Tekken card. Samurai Cavalry of Reptier. He's basically what I call the caster of pendulum monsters, because when he attacks a pendulum monster, I mean a non-pendulum monster, the monster is automatically destroyed. It's kind of like Castor, but it's not based on attributes, based on whether it's a pendulum or not. But he's good to have on hand, just a Tekken card. And then a recommendation someone made me at Locals a few days ago, to be good in any spellcaster pendulum deck. 2 Magispector Unicorn, turns stuff to hand, makes it open for attack, and like all Magispector monsters, cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effect. So if you need to pop him for something, you can, but your opponent can't. Which actually makes him pretty good, because there are cards that require you to destroy cards you control in this deck. Okay, and then that's it for monsters. For spells, we are playing 3 Pendulum Call. This is the card that searches out your scales. Now, I don't know if you can I know it says if you activate the effect of a pendulum monster this turn, you cannot activate this card, but I don't know the ruling if you activate this first, then use pendulum monster effects. If you know the ruling on that, just leave it down in the comments below. But he's the one to get your scales and main setups going. So, yeah. The next we're playing 3 Sky Iris. Your main field spell basically protects your pendulum scales, and you can use it to search out odd eyes if you need to. By popping a card you control, which you don't want to pop your pendulum scales unless you need to. Most part, or at least that's the way I play the deck. Most part, you want to play like a monster you normal summon. Like, what I actually do is I'll normal summon Skullcrobat Joker, get its search off, activate that, activate Sky Iris, pop it, search Pendulum Dragon, and then put him to scale. Oops, sorry. Pop him, and after that, I get his search, and then use his effect to pop himself to search for Wisdom Eye. Kind of like a setup move and get my stuff ready. Next, we're playing 2 Terraforming. I only play 2 because that's all I can find room for in the deck. We search out your terraformings. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. Hate back row, or like I said, I am kind of superstitious about, if you even want to call it that, or whatever the correct term is for Dark Hole. I still play this. Not that I prefer it over Raigeki. If I had a Raigeki, I would play it, and I plan to get one in the future, hopefully 2 for another deck I'm working on, which I'll explain later on after the profile. But until then, it's got to be Dark Hole. But for those of you who want to use this deck profile as a reference, Dark Hole has to be Raigeki if you have it. Otherwise, I just have, like I said, I only have this in here because I don't have a Raigeki. And then traps are playing 2 Breakthrough Skill for a monster negation. Then those are the only 2 non-ones were one of those. Torrential, Bottomless, Compulse, and Solemn. That is it for the monsters. I mean, the main deck. I mean, when I say monsters. Now for the extra deck, we are playing 3 Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. If you played like I did this one time against one guy, you actually go into him a lot. He's basically the deck's version of Utopia, but better. He has a decent, hold on, I kind of forget his effect outside negating. Oh yeah, you negate the attack, and you can special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your hand or graveyard. So you can't go for extra deck with the negate attack, with the effect that negates the attack. But when he is destroyed, you can special summon Odd Eyes from your extra deck. It doesn't have to be a pendulum monster. It can be the Fusion, Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, or Meteor Burst. Besides, those cards don't say they can't be. They can only be special summoned by Fusion, so they're fair game. All right. And then we're playing 1 Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. This is the only rank 7.5. He's a good sit-on card because his detach effect is to special summon a Red Eyes monster from your graveyard. But since we're not playing any except for him, he'll always have his Xyz materials, so it can't be Dark Hole, can't be Raigeki. And while he has Xyz materials, and also while he has Xyz materials, when your opponent activates a card or effect, I believe. Hold on. Yeah, it says every time your opponent activates a card effect, if like 500 damage your opponent immediately after it resolves. Again, sorry, after reading the cards, I'm not exactly fully clear on the effects yet. I started playing this deck maybe a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago. So if I have to keep looking up arena cards, please don't be mad. And then for the rest, for rank 4s, we're playing Honor Arc to get rid of problem monsters. Rebellion Xyz Dragon for a beat stick. Steel Swarm Roach for a summon negation. Castel to get rid of face up problem cards. God Cowboy for damage infliction, and though I've never done it, hopefully maybe game damage infliction for game. Abyss Dweller to make sure your opponent doesn't get monster effects off engrave. Black Ship Corn to get rid of monsters that can't be destroyed. Karen Gorgon for protection against cards that target cards I need on the field. And for the last 3 year, we're just playing 3 Meteor Burst Dragon. Actually, in one game, I went this one each 3 turns in a row. I mean, and his effect is pretty decent. The only downside is you can't attack the turn you use it, which is when you special summon it, you can choose a card from your Pendulum Scale and special summon it. That's good and all, but he cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. And then his other effect is basically anti-Cosmo. Your opponent, I believe it's your opponent. Hold on. Monsters in your opponent's position can activate their effects during battle phase. So maybe Konami was actually trying to throw a bone and make something that could counter the Cosmos. Sorry, I don't like Cosmos. They're annoying. They're confusing, and I don't want to say they're unfair, and you can get mad at for all this one, but I really hate them. It's like stupid. Like they have a way like of attack along with it, and then change its effect, get a different monster as the target's gone or something, or inflict more damage. And used to be one of my most hated decks used to be Medolce. This time it's Cosmos. Sorry, I had to hear that rant. Okay, and then side deck. Well, this isn't part of the side deck. There's a reason I have a token with this though. We are playing Ruinize Pendulum Dragon. This would be Odd Eyes Vortex, but it's too expensive for me right now. Maybe once it goes down in price, maybe like 10 or 15, I'd pick up a pair. Otherwise, it's got to be this guy for now. And yes, I gave most of my cards out of structure deck, because actually I was able to build it in that night by taking apart my Evil Swarm deck. So no. Oh, and keep in mind that the side deck is not complete. There are still a couple of cards missing that I'd like to have in here. And it may not reach 15 even after that. Next, we're playing 2 Gors just to make going into rank 7 monsters like Absolute Dragon a little bit easier. That's all he's there for. 1 Effect Failure. That's it for now. This is Effect Failure for now, but I would side a second one if I had one, and I was about to get a second one. I was trading for it, but I can only get one off the guy. If I could have got both off the guy, that would have been amazing, but for now, I only have 1 Effect Veiler. And then 2 Polymerization. This would be Odd Eyes Fusion, but it's the same thing with Ruinize and Vortex Dragon. This Odd Eyes Fusion, or not Pendulumize, Ruinize Vortex Dragon. That's what I meant. Odd Eyes Get my words mixed up. Anyways, Odd Eyes Fusion is just too expensive. I mean, it seems like the only reason it got overpriced because it's hollow. I mean, I know this deck's good, but I know their effects are decent, but there are things that I feel are more broken than just return to hand with Vortex Dragon. Plus, if they return to hand, they get another chance to use it. I'm not saying return to hand is good. If anything, it's pretty good. Clears up fields and all. But at the same time, the downside is they have access to the cards that you're trying to clear off the field. And that's not what Odd Eyes Fusion does. That's what Vortex Dragon does. But I know you can get this out, Odd Eyes Vortex Polymerization, so I'll probably just get him. But yeah, you never know in the future. Just depends. And then we play 3 Traps side deck, 2 Mirror Force, Monster Protection, and Vanity's Emptiness. Alright, I hope you enjoyed my deck profile. That was my Odd Eyes Magician deck profile redo, or updated version. And if you have any suggestions for the deck, as always, leave them in the comment section down below. Can't believe it, but I didn't mean to rip off Waffles. I actually was trying to rip them off. I'm worrying too much. Anyways, If you have any suggestions for the deck, like I said, leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more deck profiles, Yu-Gi-Oh content, Brony content, maybe even, and maybe even some of my personal videos of my personal life. If you don't mind, because I'm not exact, just random stuff on my channel. Anyways, talk to you later. Peace out, bronies.